Hey, this is the 8th lesson for this training course that lays the foundation to become a naturally attractive man. It is built upon a very simple rule for success. You watch each lesson and you continue to the next one only after you have done all the exercises in that lesson. The true power of this course lies on your participation. So if you haven't been on this course from the beginning, then push the button on the top right corner right now. However, if you have, well, then let's continue with lesson 8. This lesson will be an introduction of sorts, a type of bonus for you, because the theme of this is so deep it actually needs its own separate training course to do it justice. In this session, I just want to expand your mind, your way at looking at the world, and your place in it. When I started this training course, I promised to guide you on your way to become a natural, to become a man who has women come into his life willingly, excitedly and effortlessly, whether or not he has money, power and looks. A man who relies on his personality for his success with women. But there is also a level beyond that. You see, the world doesn't need more charming guys with no purpose in their lives. And purpose is the key word for going beyond the natural. If you go beyond in a way that I explain, you will find that you will have more high quality women trying to get with you than you will know what to do with. Sounds like an outrageous promise, doesn't it? Well, let me explain. Life is a series of steps of leaving the old self behind and integrating things you have learned in a new way. If you are groomed by your football coach to become the team's captain, then later in life all those leadership qualities will become useful in other areas as well. Right now, you are focusing on becoming better with women. But all these things you are learning will carry over to other parts of your life as well. If you learn to be more confident with women, you will become more confident in other areas of life as well. Learning to interact with women will increase your communication skills with all people. Cultivating masculine traits will bring you more opportunities in your everyday life, not just with women. Dealing with and overcoming personal challenges that you inevitably have to do if you truly want to be successful with women will give you a foundation on which you can later build upon in whatever area of life you want to focus on. So, how does that help you become so attractive you'll be overrun by women? If there is just one thing I want you to remember from this lesson, it's an idea that David D'Angelo gave in his Become Mr. Right program. When you become the greatest version that you can, when you become your full potential, and when you get in the flow of becoming your fullest potential, which can start right now, you become a beacon for the most amazing woman for you. The key is being in the flow of becoming the greatest version of yourself. Women notice when a man is on his way to becoming his full potential, and more importantly, they notice when a man is not, when he is just existing, getting by. High quality women stay away from these men, intimately at least. Becoming your full potential in a lot of cases is easier said than done. Becoming your greatest self means overcoming yourself, your insecurities, your shortcomings, and building a more versatile and powerfully attractive personality. And that's exactly what women who are good for you expect in a man. To be able to work through challenges, because then they'll know that this man can also work through challenges that will inevitably come up in relationships. But let me remind you, you don't have to be your full potential. Being in the flow of becoming is the key. Because that's when you're focusing on building your life. And building your life, whatever it may be, is the secret ingredient for making you magnetic to women. And this brings me to my next point. You know what high quality women complain about? They can't seem to find real men. Men with purpose in their lives. All they seem to find are guys who appear great on the first glance, but when going deeper, they realize that most of it was just a mirage. One reason this happens is because those men have learned a couple of techniques to make themselves appear more attractive and interesting and confident. But that never lasts. I will share with you a simple technique. However, I will do that to express the point I'm trying to make. Techniques are not the answer, but rather an expression of who you already are. A couple of lessons ago, I promised to talk a bit about dreams. Remember the lesson with the FORD acronym? Family, Occupation, Recreation and Dreams. Well, the technique I recommend is the following. When you get into talking about your life, switch from talking about your present to talking about your future. Tell her where you are going. Tell her about the things you dream about achieving. Tell her about the life you are building. It's one of those subtle yet monumental changes. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Meet the twins Eli and Dave. Eli relies on techniques to get women interested in him. Dave, however, is busy building his life and becoming his full potential. On the surface, their lives seem identical. Both are physically active to be fit and healthy. They both love music and are learning the piano. Both of them have decent jobs. Both of them read books. Both of them are charming and like to go skydiving and do other fun things with friends. In short, both of them have interesting lives. Now, both meet and start a flirty conversation with a high-quality woman. At one point, the question arises, what do you do? They could answer and talk about their life in general, workouts, great job, reading books, about to take on piano lessons, skydiving with friends, etc. But they decide to use the technique and switch to describing where they are going in life. And this is where the real difference between these two comes in. When Eli talks about his future, he says how he keeps on doing sports until he's 90. I'm gonna be the sexiest great-grandfather in town. And how he wants to get an even better job, play Mozart for his mother's birthday, fill a bookshelf with hundreds of books he has read cover to cover, etc. Much more powerful than describing the present, isn't it? It gives you a sense of direction. It also shows that the man can think and plan ahead, both vital qualities. Dave's response is different. He tells how the world would be a better place if children in developing countries would have access to musical instruments. And his dream and purpose is to help build an organization that would make that happen. He will take piano lessons from a specific teacher with whom he can form that organization. He will read books about the subjects he will need to make his dream a reality. He keeps himself fit to have energy to do all those things. He will find a job that will also collaborate on his efforts. How different is this from Eli's vision of his future? Way more powerful than Eli's, which wasn't bad at all, wasn't it? Differently to Eli, Dave has a purpose for his life. And that smacks the woman right across her pleasure centers. Dave is laser focused on his goal. His workouts, where he reads, his job, everything is aligned with his greater vision. Eli, on the other hand, is just learning and doing cool, high quality stuff without thinking how it all ties to the bigger picture. Now, who do you think will have greater and more fulfilling experiences with women? Dave, of course. Why can I say that with conviction? Because Dave has a mission to his life, and a man who wants to become his full potential, who wants to go beyond the natural, has to have a mission in his life. In fact, if a man would concentrate on building his life, on figuring out his mission and going for it, then most other problems with women would just disappear. Because then he would have to cultivate traits and qualities in himself that are magnetic to women naturally. A woman sees and notices a man who is on his mission. He radiates attractive qualities about himself that all women see. The missions themselves can vary greatly, from being specifically for himself to having a great impact for the whole world and anything in between. For me, one of my missions is to help men become more attractive individuals. I can see how the world would be a better place if more men all around the world could be naturally attractive. I want to shorten the gap between men and women all over the world, so we could all communicate truthfully and confidently with each other. And I know that this will not only help the guys learning from me, but it will also impact the lives of the women they come in contact with. That's why I created this YouTube channel and this training course. I want to give my contribution. I am building my life and my mission is in the center of it. But what is your mission? How do you see the world be a better place? If you don't have one yet, don't worry. you will get there in time. In fact, you are already on your way, because all the things you have learned so far in this training course will shape you in the future. Improving yourself in the land of women is one of the missions of a man. All I want for you to get from this lesson is an understanding that you will need to grow as a person to be the kind of a man who women flock to. And your personal mission is the catalyst for that. Stop, time out. Since in the beginning, YouTube doesn't allow me to upload videos that are longer than 15 minutes, I will end the first part of this lesson right here, right now, and continue with the exercises for this lesson in the second part. So just push the link here, or if you are on a playlist, just wait a couple of seconds, and I will see you in the second part of this lesson.